As he says repeatedly, mantra-like, if you educate a boy, you educate an individual, but if you educate a girl, you educate a community. Lastly, Greg has done all this with charm, grace, patience, and unfailing humility. He has listened carefully, built relationships with village leaders based on trust and respect, and involved people in shaping their own future. He has taken the time to learn the local culture, courtesy, hospitality, respect for elders, and to understand and appreciate the role Islam plays in people's daily lives. No wonder the U.S. military has recruited Greg as a consultant on how to fashion better relationships with tribal leaders and village elders. They have a lot to learn from him. We all do. Tashakkur, Greg John, for all you do. Khaled Hosseini. www.khaledhosseinifoundation.org. Author of the international bestsellers The Kite Runner and 1,000 Splendid Suns. Introduction. Every leaf of the tree becomes a page of the book once the heart is opened and it has learned to read. Saadi of Shiraz. In September of 2008, a woman with piercing green eyes named Nasreen Beg embarked on an arduous journey from her home in the tiny Pakistani village of Zudkhan, south along the Indus River and down the precipitous Karakoram Highway to the bustling city of Rawalpindi. The 3-day trip, first on foot, then on horseback, and later by jeep and bus, took Nasreen, her husband, and their 3 small children from the sparsely populated Chorperson Valley in the extreme northern part of Pakistan directly into the heart of the Punjab, home to more than 85 million people. With the exception of a few farming tools, most of their worldly possessions, including a Quran, were crammed into a black suitcase that was singed together with baling twine. They also carried a bulging burlap sack whose contents, every stitch of spare clothing they weren't wearing on their backs, were as jumbled and mixed up as the pieces of Nasreen's own story. In 1984, at the age of 5, Nasreen started attending one of the first co-educational schools to open up in the north of Pakistan, a region where women were traditionally denied the opportunity to learn reading and writing. Excelling at her classes, she distinguished herself as one of the smartest students in the school until 1992, when her mother unexpectedly died of pneumonia and Nasreen was forced to abandon her studies in order to care for her blind father, Sultan Mahmud, and her 4 siblings. Eventually her father remarried, and Nasreen's new stepmother, a woman who believed that girls had no business pursuing education, would taunt Nasreen late at night when she tried to continue her studies by the light of a kerosene lantern. "Women should work instead of reading books," her stepmother would rail. "Books will poison your mind and you will become a worthless wife and mother." Nasreen didn't see it that way. During her school years, she had acquired a rather bold dream for someone with resources as limited as hers. She had resolved that one day she would become a maternal health care provider, a profession she had first been exposed to when roving government health care teams would make their annual rounds through the local villages. She vividly remembers the joy with which she anticipated immunization shots, just so she could interact with the workers in their white cloaks. "My favorite smell was the antiseptic they would use," she says. "Also, I envied how they would write down all the babies' names, heights, and weights, and immunization details in tidy rows in a spiral notebook." Fueled by her dream, Nasreen studied relentlessly despite her stepmother's harassment. "After tending to my brothers and sisters and doing all the household work," she recalls, "I would wait until everyone was asleep, and then late at night I would read." She persisted in this manner until 1995, when, at the age of 15, she received her metric diploma, the equivalent of a high school degree, becoming one of the first of a handful of women from northern Pakistan's Hunza region ever to do so. As the brightest student and one of the first female